All right, it is Monday, December 16th. Welcome to the Damon Bruce Show, brought to you by Ike Sandwiches. Today's live stream also being powered by BetUS, and it's awesome to have you back here. A weekend without the Niners. They let everybody down on Thursday night, so you had a little bit of a weekend to do whatever you needed to do. Again, I've been hunkering in, battling an ant invasion in my house all weekend. That's what we've been doing over here. That battle will not be over with the way that it's raining in San Francisco. It's pouring outside, so there will be more ants. There will be more battle. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about here at the beginning of this show today, because the San Francisco 49ers battle here in 2024 is all but over. They're all but mathematically eliminated. That's the neighborhood that they live in now. And essentially, it's time to just start focusing on the war returning week 1 next year. So what do the 49ers do with the following 3 weeks? What is the best way to go about business? And that's what we're going to talk about here in this live stream today. Then we'll get into a couple of other things. Dennis Schröder is now a Golden State Warrior. We'll talk about last night's Warriors game at the end of the show. I can tell you right now that I was a little bit busy. I have not prepared a Today in History. Terribly sorry. So here's a little history for you. There's going to be no history lesson today. But we do have an awful lot for you. First of all, we start with the recommendation that I know where you should go for lunch today. And that is my man Ike's. He's got a delicious sandwich. It's waiting for you. What will not be waiting for you if you're a 49er fan is a chance to go to the big game at the end of the year. But you could still be there by downloading the Ike's Rewards app and signing up to becoming a Love Rewards member. You will be qualified for a trip to New Orleans to go to a very large game that will be held in the Superdome there in the month of February. So get a delicious sandwich. Try to win a trip to the big game. We got our friends at the Dubliner who, again, are just pouring the perfect Guinness for you right now. Get there, get to the Dubliner. That's where I want you to be to watch Warriors games, your final Niner games of the year. Dubliner and West Portal, it's a spot to be. Go say hi to Kenny and John for me. And of course, our good friends at BetUS for powering today's live stream. Use promo code YouTube150 and get 150% sign up bonus up to 2,000 on your very first bonus. Easy for me to say, on your first deposit. You think I've been saying that all year, I'd have it down a little smoother right now, but sometimes things just don't go smoothly. And boy, does that sum up the 49ers year. It really does. It's been a disastrous type of year. You look at how the NFC West is breaking around them right now. The Rams started 1-4. And their only win was over the 49ers in that terrible start. And now they are sitting in first place in a very should have been, could have been, would have been winnable NFC West. And the 49ers just handed some in-division business earlier on in the year, but they did not. Their final 3 games for the Rams are the Jets, the Cardinals, and the Seahawks. And that Rams-Cardinals games 2 weeks from now is probably where the division gets decided. Now, Seattle retreated a little bit from the do you think they can win conversation, a sloppy game, too many picks, and Seattle is now 8-6. They just got crushed by the Packers, and they got the Vikings coming up next. So it's not smooth sailing for the Seahawks. That brings up Arizona. Arizona right now is in 3rd place in the NFC West. Again, they close with the Panthers, the Rams, and the Niners. That Panthers-Rams, or that Panthers game, that should be a win for the Cardinals. The Cardinals, I think, throttled the Rams earlier in the year, so there could be a little division rivalry revealing its head there. The 49ers can maybe play spoiler and keep the Cardinals at home in their final week 3 game, but by that point, 3 more weeks from now, I really don't want to see many 49ers starters in a meaningless throwaway, you've been eliminated game. The 49ers, again, best shot at a game of consequence is trying to keep the Cardinals home for the playoffs in the final week of the season. And honestly, I don't want them winning another game. I'd rather have better draft position at the end of the year. That's where the 49ers are now. Again, not mathematically eliminated, but common sense eliminated. Yeah, they're out. They're basically out. We know that. When you go to Miami, what do you want to see? 2 6-8 teams having a pillow fight to end their year. That's what we're going to get. And I don't want an awful lot of 49er all hands on deck talent in that game. And this is what we're here to talk about. This is the end game. You're in it right now. Your favorite Avengers are not doing very well this year. They will not win the battle. This ends with Thanos snapping his fingers and boom, just like that, half of what you rooted for doesn't even seem like it's here anymore. So what do you do? What do you really do? It's not quite Major League Baseball where you can say, well, bring up the kids. That's just not how football works. But the equivalent of playing the kids is basically where I want the 49ers to be. Now, they're playing a lot of their young players already. It's been a good rookie class. Obviously, they all stay out there. I want a concentrated effort to get Ricky Pearsall involved in a game plan. Not just running routes. Target this guy. Run specific plays that will pop him open, get him the ball, and see what he can do, because Ricky Pearsall, we don't know. He's been out there the last few weeks, but we don't know. So let's find out what we can about Ricky Pearsall in the final 3 weeks of this year, since he remains such a mystery at the end of his rookie season. What is Jacob Cowing? Is Jacob Cowing going to be his own man, or is he Danny Gray 2.0? Get him involved in the game plan. Let's find that out. Now, if you need to play a guy like Juwan Jennings less, that's fine. Juwan Jennings is back next year. We know that. There's really nothing more to explore or examine there. Deebo Samuel has been such a disappointment. If he has to come off the field to get Cowing and Pearsall involved, so be it. I don't care about anybody's feelings anymore. Me caring about your feelings, we've reached the end of that portion of your year. It's got to be some cold, hard business going forward, I think, for the 49ers. Nick Zakelj. Well, he's Brock's roommate. Brock really likes him. I don't give a shit, especially if Brock is about to make $60 million. Who he likes, what keeps him comfortable. We won't ask that again. Pardon me. I don't care who's your buddy on this team. If you can't play, if you can't protect you, we got to move on. So throw Nick Zakelj into the deep end of the pool to see if he can swim. Take a guy like Israel Abinaconda, who has been signed for a couple weeks, still haven't even really seen him. Is this a guy you're going to bring back? Yes or no, or what the fuck? Figure it out. Isaac Guerrero, yeah, you want to see him involved, but his foot is hurt. See what else you got behind him. Play abracadabra. Let's take a look. Less obvious guys are your practice squad guys. And I know that there's really no NFL standard operating procedure for even bad football teams to turn around and say, all right, we're going with the practice squad from here on out. But as I was telling Larry earlier on Wake Up today, I'm going to give you 4 names. Running back Keyshawn Vaughn, center Drake Nugent, defensive end Alex Barrett, and tight end Mason Pline. Show me 1 or 2 of those 4 guys in your next 3 weeks and give me a sample size where I actually learn a little something. And if all we learn is he can't play, that's a valuable lesson as well for the 49ers. It really is. Figure out who you are going forward with and use these last 3 weeks to find some clarity on players that you really don't know. And like I was saying, you really want to get nuts. You really want to be like, all right, you don't want to be paying Brock Purdy market rate at the end of the year. The 49ers have said that they're committed to Brock. Okay, well then if you totally are, we don't need to see anything else from him for the remainder of the year. You're going to be better off in losses in terms of draft position than you would be to go, a stupid 2-1 here at the end of the year. Start Tanner Mordecai. Throw him right into the deep end of the pool. Right in. Tanner, you get the next 3 weeks. Let's see what you can do. If you're out there really embarrassing yourself, well, that's why Brandon Allen and Josh Dobbs are still here, and they'll clean it up if you're out there embarrassing yourself. But, let's see what you got there. Maybe he's a guy backing up Purdy. Maybe he's so impressive that you say, we're not paying Brock Purdy $60 million, and you trade Brock Purdy and you're moving on, and it's the Tanner Mordecai show. I don't think that is a realistic thing that's about to happen at all. But maybe, just maybe. We certainly won't know anything if you don't see him at all. What I do know is we got an awful lot of great names in here. True Blue, Kenny Power. Kenny was like, Damon's got to run outside and smoke a joint before his show starts. The show didn't start that late today. This shirt is so red that if my eyes were red, it would really pick it up. No. This is the only thing I'm high on are sips of the day. That's it. By the way, somebody's like, Damon, I can't stand listening to you swallow. What? Come on. Like, that's it? That's the biggest complaint you got here? What do you want me to do? Ride be potting my microphone up and down between every freaking sip? Cut me a little slack. Jesus. True Blue Forever says it's 3 days until my 1-year membership. True Blue, thank you so very, very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for becoming a member. I don't even ask everybody to become a member of the initiated. Initiation is not for everyone. But just hit like, just hit subscribe. That is a great way to support what we're doing over here and helping the channel grow, helping this particular live stream get pushed out and grow. Like and subscribe, my good friends. That's how you get it done. And thank you very much, True Blue, for all the support. Again, love. Lots of love to it. Otis, good to see you. Good to see, again, we got Joji's in here today. 510 Steve, great to see. I feel like it's Romper Room. E. Scott Burns, who else can I see? Rockin' New Era. Always good to see you. Always good to see you. Goldies, like the artist formerly known as Debo. I give you Tyshawn Samuels. Yeah. Debo is, he ain't quite like the intimidating Debo from Friday anymore. That's for sure. He's not coming for anybody's bike. Greg RJZ, thank you very much for the super, Greg. Always appreciate that. Lovely way to support the show. And Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. Again, you need some merch. Oh, we got merch. 49ers need to use these next 3 weeks to learn more about themselves, more than they need to use these next 3 weeks to win football games. Like, I would look at George Kittle, right? George Kittle does not need to play another down of football this year, but he's earned the right to be asked the following question. George, we see you're like 140 yards away from a 1,000-yard reception season. Does that matter to you? Or do you got enough Zenny money to where you really don't give a shit about that? Because you don't need to play. I would be working on an extension for George Kittle right now. Extending George Kittle now will cost less money than re-signing him at the end of his deal. I'd work on an extension for Kittle right now, and I'd shut him down for the rest of the year, and I'd say, Mason Pline, can you play or not? Eric Salbert, can you play or not? That's what I would do. That's what I would do. And say, well, that's a good way to get Brock Purdy hurt again. I don't even know if I'd be playing Brock Purdy from here on out. Dre Greenlaw. When you think about a guy who just wants to play football again, Dre Greenlaw has to be at the top of that list. All the time that he missed rehabbing, and rehab is the least amount of fun a professional athlete can have. All that rehabbing time that Dre Greenlaw spent getting back to the field, he shows up, he plays wonderfully. It's too bad the 49ers couldn't get Dre Greenlaw into the win column. He played so well in his first game back that I would basically say, Dre, we don't need to see any more. And honestly, the last thing your Achilles needs is 3 more weeks of football put on it, this fresh from your recovery, when if we don't play you much over the next 3 weeks, you get another 6 months of resting and rehabbing and rebuilding and rejuvenation. And that is going to be better for your 2025 than showing us what you can do in your last 3 games. We know that you're about to be a free agent. We want you back. We're bringing you back. I would get that deal done with Dre Greenlaw and say, you are on a serious snap count the rest of this season. We don't want you more out. We don't want you out there for more than 20, 25 snaps in any game. Devondre Campbell will back you up, which he won't. Devondre Campbell, by the way, suspended by the Niners for the remainder of the year, which means he cannot sign with another team. They can now recoup some of his signing bonus. This is the 49ers going unforgiving, tit for tat, DEFCON 1, fuck us, nobody, fuck you with Devondre Campbell, and it is the right thing to do. John Lynch is furious. He's furious as a general manager. I think he's even more furious as a Hall of Fame football player. And honestly, I'm not interested in a single thing that might represent why Devondre Campbell did any of this. Because here's what I know. There is nobody who is more qualified to not want to play football tonight than Charvarius Ward, based on what he's been through. Losing a child. The only other guy might be Trent Williams, who has sadly lost 2 other children during his wife's most recent pregnancy, where they lost twins. You don't want to play? Fuck you. Trent is so devastated he's not back. Charvarius Ward has just gotten back on the field tonight. Charvarius Ward buried a child this month. If that doesn't qualify for don't want to play, what possibly could? And yet he's out there, but you're not? No. Fuck you all the way from here to kingdom come. You never play again, and we make it rough for you on the way out. Devondre Campbell has earned all of that. Every inch. Every inch. He's earned it all. The 49ers should not only recoup everything and deny him options, but they should also all show up at his house and beat the ever-living shit out of him. I really mean it. Like, this is someone who is so far out of the fraternity and the circle of love and the brotherhood that all football players share. Someone's like, well, I wonder what his excuse is. I don't care what your excuse is that made you hop out of the foxhole while the bombs were falling. I don't care what your excuse is. All I need to know is when the bombs started falling, you jumped out of the foxhole. So I never need to know anything else about you. That's it. That's all I need to know. You have told me your entire life's story in one action. By the way, Tom comes in, says, team needs a morale boost. Extend Kittle and Dre. See, that's what I'm talking. And I agree with you here. All-Star Luna, sit Debo, let's see rookies. Again, you don't even need to see Debo to see the rookies. Give me a freaking Jacob Cowing go route. Give me plays designed specifically to open up Ricky Pearsall and get him the opportunities that quite literally slipped through the fingers of Debo last week. Again, Debo's feelings, how he feels about it. We have reached the fuck your feelings portion of the year. What you guys needed to do was feel more like not blowing division games earlier in the season. But sadly, you felt like doing that. So what anyone feels at this point in the year is irrelevant. Oh, but you do this, you might rub somebody the wrong way. This whole season has rubbed everybody the wrong way. Joe Sullivan. Joe, thank you as always. F you right back at Campbell. Great job, Niners. Wishing you and Plusers a very Merry Christmas. It's Christmas week. It's about to be anyways, right? What are we? It's the 16th? 17, 18, 19, 20. Technically next week. Okay. I know my mom gets here on Wednesday. The Duchess is coming to town. That means cookies will be baked. Bottles of wine will be consumed, and happiness and love will permeate all we do. That's what Linda brings with her. Can't wait to have the family over. Tom, Liz, the whole family, Linda, the boys. This is what we are, so in the sweet spot of Christmas magic with Jack and Ozzy being 5 and 3. This is going to be a wonderful Christmas here in our house. We don't have nearly as much to give as we used to, but none of that matters. We'll have each other, and that's what I hope you all have. And look, we'll be doing shows throughout the Christmas break, maybe not on like December 25th because I'll be with the family, but we'll be doing shows. And boy, I know a lot of people get those holiday blues, and hopefully we can help you get through the holiday blues by hanging out a little together. Maybe on one of these nights, we'll put the kids to bed early. We'll come down here and we'll do a live stream, and we'll all be drinking. Me, my mom, and Jillian will all toast together. Sounds like a good idea. I really mean it. The little community that we've been able to build over here, it's just been fantastic. You guys bring a smile to my face more often than I hopefully bring a smile to yours. Thank you for being a tremendous audience that has supported this channel in just wonderful ways. It means an awful lot. It truly, truly does. So thank you all. And again, Merry Christmas and happy holidays to all of you. Damon's baked too. I'm not baked. Look at come on, look at it. I'm not baked right now. No. Does your mom watch the show? Chudley, she's our number one fan. Mom's watching the show. Absolutely. Linda's out there. She doesn't get anything. She's like, I got no idea what you're talking about, or who these people are, or what these teams even, what leagues they're in. She can probably tell you the 49ers are a football team. Again, famous radio segment many, many years ago. I asked my mom, who might be in the potato bowl, and she said Redskins potatoes. She wasn't trying to be offensive. She thought potatoes would be in the Idaho Potato Bowl. God bless her. Remember A Coin, a Mother, a Son of a Bruce? Remember that? That's some old radio segments for you out there. It was me picking games against my mom against an inanimate object, a coin. So that's what we used to get down. Thank you, Otis. A Coin, a Mother, a Son of a Bruce was radio gold. Does Damon have an eggnog cocktail next to him? No, Steve, I don't. What I got here is just a cup of coffee. But I love eggnog. I really do. I love eggnog. A little eggnog goes a long way, but I love a good sip of like nutmeggy eggnog with the little whiskey in there, a little cognac. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, not baked now. The Duchess is the commander of the Redskins potato. She really is, Sporticus. Joe says, not baked now. I meant when the Duchess bakes cookies, Damon will bake. Ah, yes. That's what we're going to do. Epic segment. Thank you, Rockin' New Era. That was a fun segment. Postman in Capitola. Oy, oy, oy! By the way, during tomorrow's show, I'm going to show you the postman who got his merch. I can't put it officially on the calendar here, but I got it on my iPhone. Let me bring it up real quick here. Let me bring this up. We got Postman being a supermodel. Hold on. Where is he? Where's the Postman? There's the Postman. It's not in focus right there. There's the Postman. He's rocking a shirt. I'm telling you, is the logo a little bit too big on the shirt? The logo's a little bit too big on the shirt. We're getting our cachet of shirts delivered soon, by the way. The mug looks great. Scott, you look great. The tree behind you looking very good, well trimmed. Scott, thank you so very much. There's the Postman. Spokesmodeling, D. Bruce merch. Appreciate that very, very much. 650 has dropped about six $50 super chats in the last few weeks. Brother, thank you so very, very much. Or maybe 650, you're a sister. I don't know. But either way, you might as well be family. You're so generous with the super chats. Really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Michelle, bring it back for the holidays. Son of a Bruce. Eggnog and bourbon. Yeah. Leslie, you know what's up. All right. What else have we got here? Again, I talked about, you want to go really nuts over the last few weeks? Bench Brock Purdy 2, start Tanner Mordecai. What do you got there? I don't need to see another down from Brandon Allen. I don't need to see another down of Josh Dobbs. I don't think either one of those guys needs to be back next year. So you're going to be playing with rookies behind Purdy if you're going to give Purdy all that money. And if you're not going to give Purdy all that money, you're looking for a rookie on a rookie deal still. And that brings us to Tanner Mordecai, who is certainly at that price point. And again, see what you got. Just see what you got. Yeah, we're at Sporticus. Maximum tryouts. Maximum Leslie says, wasn't Mordecai the villain in the Sherlock Holmes series? That is Professor Moriarty. You got the Moore part, but it's not Mordecai. It's Moriarty. That's your. And by the way, I read Hounds of the Baskervilles when I was a kid, and with the other famous Sherlock Holmes book that I can't even remember right now. But yes, you get them. Yes, there you go. Damon, bench Brandon Pajemski. Well, Robert, that brings us to another thing that we sort of need to talk about today, right? We got ourselves a new Golden State Warrior. A new Golden State Warrior. Dennis Schröder. I hope they start spelling the word Warriors with umlauts over the O in Warriors. I'm ready for it to be an umlaut year the rest of the year. I really like the signing. I really like that you gave up no player. Not because, look, once DeAnthony Melton hurt himself, he was less of a player and more of a contract. I don't mean to reduce a man to his numbers, but you can't play a guy who's injured. So you get Dennis Schröder for 3 second-round picks and the contract that is Melton. That's a win. That's a win for the Warriors. Schröder is a beautiful pain in the ass type of basketball player. He's having a very, very good year. He's won an awful lot over the last calendar year, played well with, Germany in the World Championships, in the Olympics. He's been playing great this year. This is a good player. This makes the Warriors better because not only are you adding Dennis Schröder, but I do think you are subtracting Brandon Pajemski from game-crushing moments. And Pajemski's crushed some games in his moments. By the way, it's like Deebo Samuel and Brandon Pajemski have both been sprinting towards the finish line of who can do more to ruin your own trade value in a month. Like Brandon Pajemski might have been worth a package that got you Lauri Markkanen. Now, Brandon Pajemski has played himself into a trade package where I don't even know if he gets you a case of Lowry seasoning salt. It's been bad. So, it's not time to throw Pajemski out with the bathwater, but it's definitely time to give more minutes to Dennis Schröder as soon as he gets here. And let me tell you, that game last night, Luka Doncic was incredible. Klay Thompson scored his season high with the Dallas Mavericks. He also shoved Steph Curry's leg off of him when Curry fell out of bounds. There was no help up my former teammate, my former Splash brother. Klay just pushed him off. All right, then, fuck you, buddy. That's the way it's going to be. Okay. I actually respect that for Klay. I really do. Klay ain't a Warrior anymore. He doesn't need to do anything but beat the Golden State Warriors. That game's hard to watch. I mean, there were elements of it that were fun. And look, when you're hitting a lot of shots, I guess that's better than missing a lot of shots. But they combined for 48 made threes or 47 made threes. NBA record, 2 teams combined 3-point totals made. But you see an awful lot of games where they're shooting that many threes, not getting that record, and those are even harder to watch. I don't need to see 48 of anything in a sporting event. I don't need to see 48 sacks. I don't need to see 48 touchdowns. I don't need to see 48 anything. I don't need to see 48 home runs. I don't need to see 48 anything. 48 of anything, I'm bored by it. We're getting to about 33. After we get to the same way, Major League Baseball allowed its sport to be taken over by the dorks who said home runs and launch angles mean more than the art of hitting. That helped ruin the sport of baseball in many ways. And baseball became less fun to watch because the home run has been bastardized. And now we are in a 3-point NBA era where that shot is no longer fun to watch. Steph Curry shooting it is one thing. The rest of the league shooting it is another thing entirely. And if you think the NBA's got some ratings concerns right now, you just wait until Steph Curry and LeBron James retire. NBA ratings are in trouble right now. They're going to go into the tank where that year happens, or those years play out in front of us, and we're not far away from them. And there are so many young, talented players in this league right now, but we're not looking at examples of shot creation and mid-range game and guys attacking the rack. I mean, when Anthony Edwards is now leading like among the NBA guys in 3-point shots attempted or made per game, whatever he is. Come on, dude. Like, that guy needs to be attacking the rack, not just taking the Andrew Wiggins easy way out. I'm going to pull up from 3 because it feels like the right thing to do. The NBA better watch its own ass here, because your product is less fun than it used to be. And as someone who is now living in a world of freaking content creation, when your shit is less interesting than it used to be, your views are going to go down, full stop. There's no pretending that won't happen, because it will. I like the Dennis Schröder move, though. I really do. Now, what will it mean? Because the Dennis Schröder move comes with no one trading Kuminga, no one trading Wiggins, no one has included a first rounder in anything. So the Warriors still have options. Trace Jackson Davis, not that I hope he becomes a trade option, but the Warriors still have valuable pieces to put together a very large package to get somebody else in here. So we'll see where this goes. But Mike Dunleavy Jr. wasting no time or not letting the trade deadline approach before he just goes out and gets Dennis Schröder, I think that was a smart move. I endorse that move. I like that move. Schröder is a pest of the first degree. I like it. Let's see. Let's see what else have we got going on. Oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you about this earlier when we were talking football. And we don't have a day in history for you today, unless you want to talk about the history that Josh Allen is now officially a part of. Josh Allen keeps invading a list that used to have just one name on it, and that name was Steve Young. In NFL history, before just the past couple of weeks, only one player, Steve Young's iconic game back in 1991, week 7, where, there was Steve Young ran for more than 60 yards that day, throwing for 340 yards or more with 2 touchdowns in the air, 2 touchdowns on the ground. No one ever had a game that prolific in the air, on the ground, in the end zone than Steve Young. And then, so it was Steve Young in week 7 of 1991. Then it was Josh Allen having a game like that in a Bills loss against the Rams 2 weeks ago. And then this week, he does the exact same thing. So the list is now Josh Allen in his last 2 weeks and Steve Young are the only human beings who have ever in an NFL game recorded 340 or more passing yards, 60 or more rushing yards, 2 touchdowns in the air, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Wow. And I will tell you that there are some interesting things being reported this morning about the butcher's bill that the NFL is looking at right now after a brutal League of Week play. First of all, the Lions have let everyone know that David Montgomery is now out indefinitely while they lose another defender. Elam McNeil tore his ACL. The amount of defenders that the Lions have lost for the year felt like it crept up with them for the first time this year in their loss yesterday to the Buffalo Bills. So that's happening. Lions are being beaten up, and they just lost for the first time in 11 weeks. They snapped an 11-game winning streak. So the Bills got that going for them. Josh Allen is all in his I might be this year's MVP bag right now. High ankle sprain for Patrick Mahomes. High ankle sprain for Patrick Mahomes means he might not be playing here for a while. You take Patrick Mahomes out of the Kansas City Chiefs equation, I don't know what we're looking at anymore. I saw a stat that no team has ever reached a Super Bowl without scoring at least 31 points in any one game in a year. The Kansas City Chiefs have not done that. And now they might not have Mahomes for the next couple weeks. That's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. Now, if you're telling me that Patrick Mahomes uses his X-ray vision because he is Superman to determine his ankle is not that sprained after all, and it's taped up and he's out there next week, I would absolutely believe you. I've seen Patrick Mahomes continue to play in games where I was certain he's not going to go on in that game. But that is kind of an interesting thing to see unfold. Patrick Mahomes officially a high ankle sprain. So let's see what that means. Two of the best teams in football, the Lions, have been dealt so many injuries, and now the Chiefs feel like they're dealt a serious injury that, this year could end up being something like Bills, Eagles after all, Bills, Packers after all, Ravens. They're the happiest team in the world to hear about how Patrick Mahomes might be hurt. Again, no one's rooting for injuries unless you got the Kansas City Chiefs coming up, in which case a hurt Patrick Mahomes sounds like sweet music to your ears. And I hope that today's show is sweet music to your ears. I'm so sorry. I forgot the today in history, so you'll just have to forgive me. By the way, our friend Carl Buszczyk, who works an awful lot on this show, a little under weather today. So, Carl, you feel better soon, brother. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. Thanks for the supers today. I certainly mean it. Ahmad, you are right. Don't count out those Vikings. I don't count out the Vikings. I don't. I just didn't bring them up right there. I should have, though, because they're legit. And I will also say this, too. Joe Schmo, you're right. Chiefs are fine if Patrick Mahomes is okay. Here's the thing. Patrick Mahomes has earned every single benefit of the doubt that you could extend to him. Is there a player in this league with less to prove in any game than Patrick Mahomes? The answer is no. Guy's incredible. Guy is incredible. And you're right, True Blue. He's probably still back for the playoffs. And if he is, may God have mercy on all of our souls. Again, may God have mercy on the sandwiches you order from Ike's because they never last long. Look at me in sandwich form. The Niners giving you no rings. You get 3 onion rings on every single Damon Bruce that you order from Ike's. If there isn't an Ike's near you, call the cops, call your mayor, call a congressman, call anyone, and get an Ike's. Maybe even sell your house and move closer to an Ike's if you're out of delivery range. Again, all up and down the West Coast now, expanding ever eastward. Hopefully there's an Ike's coming to you soon. Hopefully the first time you've heard about it is right here on this channel, and it will be in your backyard soon enough. You will be very, very happy. Dubliner and West Portal. Again, you got to go to West Portal in San Francisco to go to the Dubliner West Portal. They're not going to be opening in a mall near you anytime soon, which means you have another reason to come to San Francisco now to go to the Dubliner and West Portal. What an awesome bar, great bar, Irish bar, sports bar, neighborhood bar, dimly lit bar. Everyone looks good in there. Get yourself to a very handsome, my kind of bar, if there ever was one. Dubliner West Portal. Love that spot. Thank you again to Kenny and John, as always, for their continued support. And again, our friends at BetUS. Do not bet on the 49ers the rest of this year. That is friendly advice. And let's see how Schröder acclimates himself before we start banging any Warriors numbers, okay? But when you do start feeling confident and frisky, get yourself to BetUS, where the game comes alive, and use promo code YouTube150 for a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. Thanks to them for powering today's live stream. Thanks to you for watching today's live stream. Thanks to me for hosting it. And there you go. That's what we got for you today, my good friends. We'll be back. How about this? From the tree lot tomorrow. I don't know how tomorrow's live stream is going to go. We'll see what kind of a Wi-Fi situation. I think we're going to be okay. But we're going to be doing the 11 a.m. show from the tree lot in Fort Mason Festival Pavilion on Tuesday here in San Francisco. So if you are around the marina, come on down around 11 o'clock. Shit, you can sit right next to me. You'll be on the show. I don't care. There are no rules on YouTube. We follow no rules. So we're going to be doing tomorrow's show from down at the tree lot. If you have not picked out your tree, the Guardsman Tree Lot sends kids to summer camp. At-risk Bay Area youth. We're having an incredible tree lot right now. The tree lot party this past weekend did gangbusters. The biggest opening day in the history of the tree lot. More trees sold on that day. My good friend Jack Welsh is the czar of this year's tree lot. He has run a wonderful tree lot. We're so proud of him, and we thank everyone who makes the tree lot part of their Christmas traditions here in San Francisco. Are our trees expensive? Yes, they are. But don't even think of it as you get a Christmas tree for any price point. Think of it as you're sending a kid, a Bay Area at-risk youth, to summer camp. You're making a generous donation. And for that donation, we say, thank you. Here's a Christmas tree. That's how that works. Garland, ornaments, everything you could think of that you would want to pick up at the tree lot. Hot marina girls. Yep. A lot of that too down there, if you don't mind me saying. Great place to bring the kids. We got bouncy houses. We got fun. Come on down to the Guardsman Tree Lot, and I'll be there tomorrow at 11 a.m. doing the show. And depending on how the Wi-Fi goes and what we got to talk about, I don't know how long tomorrow's show is going to last. If a lot of people show up and we just want to start kicking it, maybe Smiley Dan shows up. We go outside and talk about how safe everything could be down here. I don't know. Let's play it out. Let's see how it all goes. But thank you very, very much for tuning in, for watching today. Let's see. Did I miss any supers on the way out? No. Again, 650, Joe Sullivan, All-Star Luna, Tobin, Greg, thank you for today's supers. Really, really appreciate that. Hey, Damon. Hey, Damon. Marina Safeway. We're right across from the Marina Safeway. Marina Safeway used to be called Dateway. That's what I'm saying. Look at this. Safety, check, Christmas trees, Smiley Dan. Maybe we see you tomorrow, bro. We'll definitely be up on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching. And please do remember, as you're going about your day, that sports don't build character. They reveal it. And like that, he's gone.